From Significant, this is Crack It in an Hour.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. I'm Simon.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Roman.
And today, it's the same as every day, right? Which is one problem to crack, 1 hour, once a week. Two people have no idea what it is. One person brought a problem.
Mystery.
So, this time it's me. The clock has been started. I wanted to try something a little bit different.
You're looking in a way that...
Okay, here's the deal, though. I'm going to give us an out, though, if we don't want to do that.
Whoa.
Which is, I got two things.
Whoa.
One is sort of like we can do the usual. Like, trust me, it's a real thing. I'm not like just making it up. We can do that. Or we can try something a little different and see if we want to pursue that one.
So do we have to choose now before knowing a topic?
You need to choose. Do you want to do the...
I choose the new adventure.
I choose the new adventure.
Okay.
New studio,
All
new
right.
adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, I'm gonna talk about something that's just a little bit true and unfortunate. It's more about a problem I have. I don't know if you actually feel this problem, which is March Madness is on right now.
Oh, woo!
Right? I love sports. You all love sports, right? Now, sadly, if of the big three sports franchises, of big three sports leagues in America, baseball, basketball, and football, there is no chance I will likely ever have enough money to own a team. Yeah. Right? I'll probably never be a team owner.
Oh, this is going to be great. I know it.
The only way that we can do this is we need to invent a new sports league that will be as big as the big three in the next 25 years, giving myself enough time. So what I want to do today is, how do we launch a new sports league in the United States that's going to be hyper successful?
This is insane.
And does it have to be an existing sport?
That's a great question.
Do we have to invent the sport?
I've done research on both. We can either grab an existing sport and make it popular. So, for example, there's a few that have happened recently. The one that comes to mind actually is the new lacrosse league that's out right now, and that sort of thing. Yeah. Like there's things like that. Or we can make up a whole new sport for this modern era. And this is interesting too. And I'm going to say a few reasons why. As I was reading this book about football, and the interesting thing about football, and the thing that this book goes into quite a bit, is that football was the perfect sport for the TV era. It was a moment in time where baseball was afraid of TV, football embraced TV, and then all sorts of things were just part and parcel to just like teams have to leave the field and come back. That's a perfect time for commercial breaks. The instant replay, so people could get in closer to a game that they don't quite understand and watch it from 40 different angles. Yeah. It was the perfect sport. However, I read an excerpt from this book, and it was like, they talked a lot about the intimacy of football that made him, that actually like rallied. Everyone calls it like America's. Yeah. I mean, I know it's also what they say about baseball, but it was sort of like it put you on the field the way that they actually never could convey.
Yeah. It was incredible.
But we've entered the social media, the content era, the internet era, the AI era, whatever era you want to go, well beyond TV. So we can invent a whole new sport, and we can start discussing what we would want to do for that. Or we could think of a sport that we want to make famous in America, all obviously own franchises in it. And one day laugh as our teams are competing in one of the biggest leagues in America.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So much money.
That first question is tough because you could think that if the existing other sports haven't made it like all the way to the top three, it's for a reason. So you'd be like, okay, do we need to make one up? But then making one up is basically going to take us an hour to just invent what the sport is already.
Probably.
So it's a hard
one to figure out.
Can I ask a question? Did pickleball exist before it was popular, or did pickleball get invented and then? When was pickleball invented?
I was going to ask the exact same question.
I have no idea when pickleball was actually invented.
Because it could potentially disprove. I mean, I have the same thought as you, but if pickleball existed for a while, then it is possible to take something.
Idea.
I don't know if pickleball would ever be a popular spectator sport. I'd be skeptical of
just
it.
to answer the question
Yeah.
I'm just the question of, if a sport isn't popular yet, can it become popular?
Yes.
I'm like, well, pickleball's a good example, but actually I don't know if pickleball was literally invented like 5 years ago.
Okay, how about we do it this way? How about we try to get on like 3 to 5 ingredients that we think are necessary, and then we see if that sport exists, or if we need to. Because, for example, I think it should be a team sport.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I think it should be a team sport.
More chances, right? More athletes, more all of this.
Yeah.
More storylines, side stories off the court, the pitch,
Drama.
whatever it is. Drama.
Yeah. You need to build a star system.
Team sport.
Really cute outfits. I'm kidding.
You already want to make it hot? Like,
I would make the argument, in the age of content, highlights need to be quickly digestible.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, we are now in that age where I think you want something that is like, oh, if you watch it in 10 seconds, you're like, oh, I get it.
I think it needs a surface level understanding, but a layer of complexity that can give you layers of fans.
Yes.
Like football, you can be like, okay, you just have to get the ball to one end. I can enter and just know that and understand points.
Whereas cricket is like, what's going on?
What is happening? Yeah. But then if you really want to know football and get deep into the fandom, you can understand all kinds of nuances in the rules. So I think it needs that. I think it has to be simple on the surface, like ball in goal.
I think it should be all genders at the same time.
See, that's interesting too. I was thinking about the gender thing. That's very interesting. And then I have another thought, and tell me if you disagree or not. Americans only like rooting for Americans. They're not crazy about international sports where they don't have as many stars that are American. It's a harder sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sport is a point of pride anywhere.
Totally.
Right? So it's like,
but I think with America, if we're going to be a top 3 American sport, I think you need it to be a sport where Americans can be superstars.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's, I have a few ideas. I wonder, so imagine.
I got one thought.
Imagine it's a team sport and it's all genders at the same time. Let's say it's like a 5 or 10 aside. And I think it could have a component of I think it should have a component of play, meaning some kind of ball, and a component of fight.
Ooh, sign me up.
That's interesting.
Go on.
Yeah.
You want storylines?
Like what about full contact handball? Do you know what I mean?
Would you call handball like the European,
Olympic sport, the European
handball?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
like something
handball
like that.
where you can punch the opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like rugby a little bit. Wait, have you guys ever seen I forget what they call it, but I think it's called like dancing soccer, which like actually is sport.
Yes.
And it's like people out on a soccer field, like straight up, same game, 11 players playing soccer.
Oh man.
But instead of running, they like do dance moves. So you leaping across the field.
That's never going to work.
No, I know.
The 2 reasons it won't work are the names, dancing and soccer. When you combine those things in America, no one's watching.
I'm just telling you, I like the more aggressive version of dancing soccer called punching soccer.
Punching soccer. Would you think okay, let me ask you this. Do you think rugby could ever be sold to an American audience in any, there is a rugby league. I think it's literally called Major League Rugby. Do you think it ever could be a top 3 sport in this country? I don't think it could, but I'm curious to get your take.
I agree with you, but I'm why? I agree, but I can't figure out why it wouldn't work.
I have a thought.
Because tell me.
I think what you said about the sport work, Americans want to root for Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the sport wasn't popular first in America,
they get weird about
People get weird about it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but
No.
I think you can have, people can become fans of it, but if it doesn't feel like an American born sport that then, NBA exported to your, but it feels like ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
and
that's
then
a good
went
point.
out. And so as a franchise, right? I mean,
I
obviously so many players,
Totally.
most of the NBA is like, incredible players from all around the world.
Totally.
But yeah, I think.
But it started mostly with American stars.
So I don't think that people can, because we're always going to be the second market of rugby.
We're
and
like,
I think there's
want
such
that.
a weird American like superior complex that they just can't get past it.
And if you look at rugby sevens, I think like when I watch it during the Olympics and whenever it's on TV, I'm like, this is a very exciting sport. But I still see the reasons why it would never work in America, a lot of which that you're talking about as well. But do we agree on full contact? Are we circling around full contact?
I think we should.
I kind of like
full contact.
I mean,
as a rule.
America.
But I like the mix of play and fight.
America likes blood, just like yeah. Like
well, I mean, one of the biggest upstarts I'd say of the last 30 years, arguably, is UFC, right?
Yeah, totally.
UFC is a massive success story.
Yeah.
I did a little digging on UFC, and it's funny because it's one of those things that you're like, it's a massive success, but it's when you look at it in comparison to the big three, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like it's like 1.5 billion in revenue a year, whereas I think like
really,
yeah,
I thought it would be much more.
I know, me too. Okay. Whereas like something like the NFL, like one team makes that, you know what I mean? Like even before like that's, I think that might be the TV contract per team or something like that.
I do think the full contact component makes your all gender idea a little complex.
I mean, everybody's got to have its role on the team. You know,
but I don't
going to have different skills with different.
I don't think America is ready for a sport where men are beating up women.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Let's just put that rule in. No cross gender fighting. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm gonna get canceled on this one.
Okay. Let's back up from that.
Okay, let's talk about.
I mean, some athlete profiles, not gender related, will be the ones who always avoid the fight.
Okay,
they'll be the speed.
So
they'll
be like,
fast,
he's
they'll be like the runner.
Yeah, he's the sprinter of the team or whatever.
Yeah, you're basically describing Quidditch.
I was it was starting to sound like that.
So Quidditch is the thing with a broom under your.
I mean, not a real sport. People can't fly, but but you have like
it exists, right?
I've seen people playing it at the park.
It looks silly, right? Like it's like literally people running around with brooms and throwing balls.
I don't know. I do know someone who does it, and they may or may not be sometimes listening to this podcast. So
really? Okay.
I will not be the guy.
I apologize.
All I said was people can't fly. All I said.
Let me say, listen, I don't want to hate on anyone playing any sport, so I apologize for saying it looks silly, but it's never going to be a number one U.S. American sport.
But so handball, if you remove the fighting, I don't think handball is interesting enough. I love watching it. I actually do. Mm-hmm. I think if you've ever played just for half an hour, you realize how brutal and physical that sport is. Could you change
the format to make it more interesting?
Keep going.
Well, we're playing God here. What we could do is we could decide, bad example is we're going to do handball, but the nets are twice as big and each round is 5 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like if we wanted to, we could do that version of handball and call it America ball and make this sport our own. You know what I mean?
Are there?
Then I would do a version of what's if, and it's a shortcut, but if American football is America's version of rugby, what could be America's version of soccer?
That's interesting.
Like, what is the soccer made for TV today? Because soccer is
dancing soccer.
Not dancing soccer. Okay. Soccer is still the biggest sport in the world, right? The biggest, and it's really small compared to the other ones in America.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the principles of like what you laid out, the foundational principles of American football were like all built around TV. Like, how do you build soccer around the modern content ecosystem?
So I love that. There's a paradox to it that is sort of weird as someone who's worked a little bit on soccer, which is that when you mess around with soccer it's like video games in a weird way. When you mess around with soccer too much, the American core gets upset, and because they have such an insecurity about not being considered like real fans. So you lose them quickly. And then if you lose them quickly, you lose the credibility quickly.
Yeah, but I think we're inventing a whole new sport. It's not called soccer.
Okay, so we're not even going to refer to. We're not even trying to go after the soccer market.
Yeah, because I don't think
people can call it the soccer
America
of
ball
if they want to, but that's not how we're
I'm
going to
calling this league the American Ball League. So whatever it is.
Perfect. The American Ball League.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 5-a-side on a smaller pitch with basically the modern format
Contact?
of soccer that's everywhere in the world, like urban soccer, 5-a-side, closed off. Closed off, smaller goal. And then you got to figure out the format. Is it like, 4 quarters of 5 minutes?
Yeah. You need to do something fast.
Super fast. But how do you make it also super physical? Or is it, I don't know. We gotta think through that thing. What is it? Let's talk about now.
I don't know if soccer is the place you start. That would be my one sort of like.
Here's what I like about it. I think the part is like basketball here. The part about that sport being very accessible for people to try it, I think is a good one. I think is a vote for.
Yeah, vote for. I agree.
It's like obviously the NFL is the biggest sport American football, the biggest sport in America, and that's a bit of an anomaly because people can't really play.
Yeah,
but I do think football is the biggest sport soccer is the biggest sport in the world for a reason. It's also that. Literally anyone can try.
Anyone can play. The cost of entry is 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And most people have tried it at some point in their lives.
Totally. Well, it's also why basketball took off.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And so that's what I like about the principles of a sport that's proven that literally 3 billion people can get around the TV to watch like a game at some point every 4 years. It's like there's foundations there that maybe we should leverage. That's what I'm thinking.
That's an interesting here. Okay. What if we just went straight at the ball? What if we created a new format of football?
Yeah, go on.
Like, I don't know, like 6-a-side football instead of 11-a-side. And it was hyper physical. Not like Arena League was a version of this and it was pretty borderline unwatchable. But like, I'm trying to think like, is there something you could do?
I have an idea.
I think you'll already be the little brother, little sister when you
right
away.
Do
that. I think so. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
It could be football. It could be side. At the moment, the base, I don't have an answer for what is like the starting point. But I think instead of playing it on a court or on a field, you should take the F1 approach of like taking a city and it's like a hide and seek meets like you're utilizing the city to your advantage. I mean, it's obviously going to have like let's call it a route, like just like a circuit so that you can close off the city. You're going to do the season is 4 months. It's a 12 city tour. That day, the circuit is closed, but the circuit involves the actual components of the city. And it's like combat meets hide and seek meets, I don't know, kick a ball if you want.
So you're basically doing the Survivor of
City Survivor.
City Survivor, but I do think it's like capture the flag.
But you can fight.
I don't know.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know because I think it depends if you're trying to build a reality show or build a sport.
Yeah, but I mean, I
think having a sport that also is a reality show is interesting, but I think that would be a reality show before being a sport.
If you had,
you could build more sport components
like to your point,
though.
there's a thin line between WWE and UFC, right? Like that's kind of what you're talking about to some degree. There's a difference between entertainment as sport and sport as entertainment.
Yes, but I wouldn't take those two examples. Literally what Jesse describes to me is like Survivor versus an interesting sport.
But if you made rules to it, where it was literally like, all right, we're going to have 12 people, there's some qualifying process. And it's literally everyone has a flag hidden somewhere.
2 teams,
a 1 mile radius, and it's like kind of like Fortnite, but in real life in a weird way with no guns and punching. But or maybe not punching, but tackling or something. Yeah. And then it's all about going to get the thing.
Or like when you were talking about if it does,
can't tell if it'd be entertaining or not.
I think it would be incredible, but
I wouldn't watch it.
If Roman won't watch it, it won't work.
No, I wouldn't watch it. I'm like, I can't market that thing. It's not interesting.
It's
Just because you're not the audience doesn't mean it's not interesting.
Correct. It's not interesting to me.
There's
otherwise you just don't overthink it. Just the Squid Games. Have people kill each other. People are going to watch that.
Okay, you're out of control. On
You
this
said
episode.
we can.
I did.
You said you
I
wanna
did.
make
I said
money.
we could do whatever.
If
We
you
can
have
murder
like
people
kill
if we
each
wanna
other
murder
on
people.
live
Oh my
TV.
God,
People
guys.
are
I
going to
don't
watch it.
know. I don't know if a murder game. I think we're a few years. I don't know if we're ready for a murder.
It's too dark.
Game
I don't
yet.
want to go there. It's too dark. It's too dark. Come back to the light.
What about if we just went to like medieval, like, right? Like we went to stuff like jousting and stuff like that. Could we pull that off, do you think?
That's interesting.
Like, could we bring back an old sport? Is there an old sport that you could bring back and make popular?
I think jousting doesn't work. I mean, though, you could be on like
Gladiators. Killing again.
yeah. And I was going to say, I think people like would not be a fan of the animal component, but what you could be riding like robot horses.
Cars. Driving cars at each other.
Jousting in cars.
Games of chicken.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That ends in death again. We want to try and avoid the death in this.
Robot horses is interesting.
So is there any sport we can think of, like even in the wide world, that we think we could launch in the United States and make a successful, like, soccer, volleyball? That sport's crazy.
Have you ever seen the one thing that comes to mind that I think is completely nuts from an athletic perspective, and I don't know what it's called. It's a sport that's played in Southeast Asia a lot. It has a net. It's 2-on-2, so bear with me for a second. That was in the brief at the beginning, but it's 2-on-2. It has a net about the height of a badminton net, and they play with a ball that's like what's it called? Those branches that you can...
They're like palm fronds.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And they play only with like kind of like soccer rules. So just head, chest, and feet.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Every time they keep attacking, doing back kicks with their feet. So every shot, when they're very good, obviously, is like a back kick over a badminton net.
That's what I was saying, calling soccer volleyball. I don't know the actual name of it. It's insane.
I've never seen it.
When you see that for the first time, you are stuck for like however long these people are going to play, and they play on the streets, they play whatever, in parks, and it's incredibly athletic. So when you talk about a sport that actually exists that we should try and import, that's what comes to mind to me, because it is the thing where I'm like, this is crazy.
Insane.
I do think to get to the level that you want, because we're trying to make you a billionaire, right? All of us.
We all need to be billionaire owners.
I do think the more people is the faster path to get there. I think you want like the drama of building a team of at least
the
10 people, I think. I think you need, exactly. You need
there's more characters, more personalities.
More drama, more, like, I think there's so many good mechanics in the draft and the trade component that I think you'd want to utilize.
I mean, we agree it needs to be like sort of a like year-long story, even when it's off season, right? And
exactly.
The only way to do that is to ensure there's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
I think so.
What I mean.
So I don't know if there's an existing sport. Like you talked about rugby,
like
you talked about lacrosse is already big in
lacrosse
in
is going. I don't. I mean, I could see maybe one day it would take a bit, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. You talked about
field
handball.
hockey won't get there.
Field hockey would be tough.
No, field hockey will be tough. Yeah.
So are we inventing a new sport? Here's
I still like my idea.
Here's some things interesting about building a new sport, which is like no sport has been built with the amount of with the current ways you can cover a sport now, right? Like everyone has a camera in their pocket, right? Like putting a camera on every player and setting up a completely new way to watch it is now on the table in
Blair
a way
Witch
it wasn't.
Project
You know what I
meets,
mean? Like
sport.
so, like to your point about the Survivor series or whatever, or City Survivor thing, you could literally just have everyone wear body cams, and then each one has their own stream of the body cam, and then on top of that, you have commentators, and you're watching it, and they're doing all this crazy stuff.
And I think that there's a world where Survivor, calling it like City Survivor, automatically takes you to one very defined. I know. But what I was going to say is, I actually think you could, let's pretend that it was soccer as it is today, except you're not playing on a field. You're playing in a city circuit that's been blocked off. Right. Like to me, I don't think it needs to feel like a real life video game. I think it could be way more sport centric.
Yeah.
Like when you first said a new version of football, I was thinking about literally people throwing football like through the city and then catch it, run with it, like go. And there's shit in your way. And like, you've got to, there's more athleticism, jump over that car, like not a moving car. No one's going to get hit by a car. But, I think there could be more sport component to that. But I think just changing the environment could make it insane and could create all kinds of interesting rules.
Totally. It's
it more?
No, it's cool. It's cool. Let's do it. Okay, let's choose something because now we got to market it.
Okay. What are we? Have we chosen anything?
Yeah,
American Ball
we can
League?
choose the
City Survivor,
like American whatever. What is it called?
Well, I still like the combat component.
Is there a ball involved? Did we agree on teams ball?
I think
and
teams and ball because these basically it's proven that
play
these are
plus,
the biggest in the world.
I think play plus combat.
And then city circuits.
City circuits. And I would say you need we said multiple people. That's where you'll get all the stories. I don't know if this is a core component, but to me personally it is, which is the ability to, how would you describe this? Like in football, there are rules and then there are trick plays. Like people circumvent the rules. Like the rules are slippery. The rules are slippery. Like you can play. I think that makes it so. I think it happens in basketball too a little bit. But like the ability, I think, to work outside the lines feels to me like one of the most interesting components of sport.
Have we decided we're going to go with this? We got teams, ball, combat, play, city circuit. We ready to go?
Let's go.
That's as much as we got so far. Now we can start figuring out how are we going to market this thing? How are we going to cover this thing? How are we going to make it big?
Rivalries, teams, all of this, right?
Yeah, of course.
Welcome to the city.
Teams connected to certain cities.
So we should talk about the format of the league, the media and the content, and how do we structure this?
I mean, there's a few things too. Like obviously, like we need to build. For me, like if I was building a modern league, like obviously the first thing I'd be prioritizing, I think now when that basketball's done quite well, is like building a star system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally, like how do you have these people become stars as quickly as possible, and people want to care about them outside of the game itself?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. From your perspective, why is soccer not really as big as it should be in America?
I think a lot of Americans still find it slow.
Okay. What do you think, Jesse?
I think it's that. And I think it's the same thing with what we talked about with rugby. It's like, it feels like it's Europe first and we're the secondary market. Yeah. And you kind of have that feeling when like players who are ready to retire come live out their last 4 seasons.
So that's a different point, which is also a very good one.
But it's true. It's the same. To me, they're connected. Like we're the secondary market.
Okay. But it's a different point than from emotionally. It wasn't invented in America.
I think they're connected, but yes.
The slow thing, I don't think I buy. Baseball is the most boring sport in the world to watch when you watch a whole game. It's super slow.
America.
It's
American. I know. I actually like watching the big games, but it is. That's why I don't buy the slow argument. You have slower sports who have made it. But I do buy the secondary thing.
It's the combination of the two, which is like you can, if we've been playing that slow sport for 200, if America has been playing that slow sport for 200 years, there's a different relationship to it.
Yeah. I would redefine slow a little, or I would define it more specifically, because I think baseball is slow, but the structure of it, because it breaks it up into 9 chunks. Like when you were talking about, you're going to do 4 quarters of 5 minutes or something like that. I think it makes baseball feel faster, because soccer, you can watch obviously a whole game and no one scores anything. And all that happens is everybody just ran back and forth but at least in baseball, like you have to get 3 out. Like something's going to happen. Every little contained chunk of time. And I think that there's like an attention, they've baked it, the way it's structured, like has moments of attention.
Yeah. Baseball is such an interesting sport because I think it also just has a schedule problem. Like when you play 162 games, inevitably you're just making each game far less important.
Totally.
Whereas the magic of baseball is like when you get to playoff baseball,
incredible.
Every pitch matters. This is what could swing the game. And you're like when the Jays were in against the Dodgers this year, like literally every game, my heart was in my stomach in a way that like, even for sports I care more about, it's just not.
That's what I like in our new, whatever City Ball, America City Ball. If you have, let's say 12 cities, 4 months, the stakes are high. Every single thing, every game matters. I think hockey has the same problem. There's so many
and
games.
Basketball. Yeah. Basketball has like, again, it should be 50 games or something like that. Like to the point now where even players are trying to sit them out.
Yeah, but then if your point is to make a lot of money, that's how those sports grew. Is they're adding competition, they're adding games, they're adding like.
But this is interesting though.
Like the real football in Europe,
it's gotten bonkers.
Like a team who does really well can basically play nonstop without a single break and get to the next season. That's what happened to like the ones who went all the way to the World Cup final last summer.
To the
like
World Club
they
World Cup.
literally did not stop and ended with injuries and all of this. But it is because the more competition you play, the more chances you have of making money, the more you're going to be selling rights to TV, the more blah, 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 blah.
Well, I think this is a moment to give the NFL its flowers, right? Which is like, it's like they've added one more game, but there's still only 17 regular season games.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is
That's
also
true.
when they talked about built for TV, it was like Sunday afternoon, no one has anything to do. Oh, and we're going to play all the games at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's like right away, you build exclusivity into kind of like that event not being something that you're like, well, it doesn't matter. There's 400 more games to
It's right at the sweet spot.
So should we make that a rule?
Yeah.
Which one?
Limited schedule?
Yes, I think so.
I think it's also NFL is right at the sweet spot of leaving you wanting more. Like you and I, Simon, both were just like, as the Super Bowl was like around the corner, we were like, oh, I can't believe like after this, there's not going to be any more.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. All the other sports that you mentioned, including like soccer in Europe, it's like there's so much that at some point you just watch the big games.
Yeah. Gambling integration, fantasy sports integration.
For sure.
For America.
Yeah.
Both.
100%. Which I think is now it's
like a no-brainer.
Nice no-brainer for any sport.
Yeah, I mean, I know so many people who were literally gambling on the Oscars, like
on Polymarket and stuff.
Yeah, Kalshi.
Yeah.
This is I'm having fun. This is very hard, but it's interesting
like
to think of because we are getting to like themes and we're getting to things that I'm I buy that, I buy that, I buy that, I buy that. But like trying to peg.
I think
you need. No, go ahead.
I would keep the home and away system. I think,
agree
because especially in the city, like imagine, I would make sure that. But
that goes against city circuits, doesn't it? It wouldn't work.
In the city circuits, I think it does work.
Well, because so if your field is the city itself.
Yeah, but that's what's amazing. You play to the weather of the city. So you're going to play, you're going to basically, you're going to play in Boston in January. You're going to play in Miami in August. You're going to, I think you need to play to that thing.
To the situation.
To the situation, to see adaptability, to play with like how the local team can play all of the natural elements to their favor and all of that. It adds like a real
let's say there's 12 cities. There are 12 teams in this league.
Yes.
And every team has one.
You play each team once.
Each team basically gets one home advantage.
Yeah. Well, your home field, you play on. Okay,
no, I see.
No,
okay.
I think it's a championship, like a soccer championship, meaning you play every team twice every season. Yeah. Once at their home and once at yours.
Okay, yep,
10
I get it. I'm very into that.
Everyone plays 18 games total.
Yes.
And then that's it.
Yep.
And then
one home advantage.
I am going to make the vote that one difference between European soccer and this is there has to be a playoff. Americans demand playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs is amazing. Yeah. Like the Champions League.
I love that. The home advantage, it's like, I mean, you know how I feel about the Buffalo Bills. I love them. And I always love when a team
snows and
hits,
it's amazing.
hits Buffalo and there's like 2 feet of snow and people are like, we can't play in this. They're so good.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
The content piece, you talked about body cams.
I think the body cams you need, but I don't think it should be the primary source of.
Yeah.
I think it should be a secondary
it was meant
content
more as an
stream.
example.
Well, yeah, but I think it's cool. And I think it should be a secondary content stream. Like it should be but I think what NFL, back to your point, it built for TV, they like really constructed the way that you experienced it.
All of it.
To the point actually where in that book, they talk about how when people started going and seeing it in person, they were actually like kind of disappointed because the experience on TV was so good.
I find
of which sport?
NFL.
Oh yeah.
Because it was literally built for TV.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
If you go to a generic stadium, it's not as good as TV.
Yeah.
Like when I go to SoFi and I have the privilege of going to that amazing stadium, I'm like, this is really cool. But I've seen football at a lot of stadiums that I'm like, I should have stayed home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
Like it is.
But it's a very particular sport.
Oh, very particular.
Yeah.
Most sports are really fun live. And NFL, you got to have the right seat, the right stadium.
But
I also think it's because the TV product is so good.
Yeah, that's what it
it's
is.
a combination. It's not just what it is, because football, if you watch soccer and you're like, or tennis and you're like, just a little high up, but not all the way up, and you're really close to the players, it's amazing. NFL, if you're not really mid-level stadium and you can't see like the whole strategy of every single player, it sucks. So it's like the sport is also making it. It's a combination
of the same thing.
No, it's a combination of both things. It's not just that the TV product is amazing. It's that the rules of the sport
game itself make it harder.
Very difficult to follow live.
Gotcha.
Well, I think that
which might be the case with our thing, because if you're in a city, live will be different.
Yeah. But also with the TV thing too, that the NFL has about the reason, part of the reason the TV product itself is so freaking good is because you can watch like 8 games at the same time. You know what I mean? Like all the games are being played at 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then there's basically 3 marquee games. But generally speaking, if you stay home and watch, like when I watch football, I watch the Vikings on a big screen because I'm a horrible Vikings fan. And then I just watched 3 other games the entire time too.
I do think I do like that. Like as we're talking about the play each team twice, everyone gets a shot at home. I do think they should be condensed into like, not spread across the whole week. I think it makes people lose track of
what's going on,
of the experience. And I think it doesn't all have to be on a single day, but I think, in NFL, it's obviously Thursday.
How do you score points in that game? And the reason I'm asking is how do you watch it live? I think the live experience is so important and a massive source of revenue. Yeah. So like, what's the point of watching it live?
I'm for goals and nets. Like I do think some form of getting something into a net. Like if we're starting a new sport and we need just people to understand it quickly.
So you're not blocking off a whole city, right?
I don't think it's like a whole city.
No, it's just like you draw like a circuit around by circuit, I mean a border. You're not playing on a circuit, but like, you're like, okay, around the Tribune Tower and this part of the Chicago River and like the Macy's there and the Magnificent Mile. And there you go.
And so then you have goals, and so you can set up like a public
nets
around it.
Yeah,
exactly. What I mean is that you want
the public
places
to watch
where people to watch it.
Yeah.
And you can sell tickets because that's what we're trying to do.
Totally.
Okay.
Because like, for example, like when we talk about this, the bad place my head goes, just trying to like wrap my head around it, is kind of like, have you ever seen an Australian rules field?
Yeah, totally.
It's kind of like that weird oval, right?
Oval, yeah.
It's like, I imagine something kind of like that, but in a city. But then on the opposite sides, you have these nets with goalies in it.
Yeah.
And there's some form of getting a ball to try to get to the net.
And I think you construct a grandstand like during the games.
Yeah,
just
that's
like,
what I meant.
No one's going to mind. The cities are going to be totally fine with it.
I mean, they're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Okay, so sorry, we didn't answer the content piece. So there's body cams and what? You're just looking for highlights? It's the only thing you're looking for, right?
My thing is exactly, which is like highlights need to be digestible. You know what I mean? Like if you see a dunk, you see a...
Name one sport that doesn't have digestible highlights.
That's a fair point. Like everything usually there's something that always
long
has
distance
10,
running. Okay.
a great shot, a great goal.
But,
exactly.
like anything,
I don't know. The end of the LA Marathon had a pretty good highlight.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, overall, like
just
any sport, I think that
everything has
that
highlights.
top 5, top 10, they'll have good highlights.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you think? Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. Yeah, the highlights thing are inevitable.
I think if you have combat and play, you'll have highlights.
Punches, goals,
punches
and goals in the same sport.
Mic'd up players.
Mic'd up players.
Mic'd up players and refs.
I love them.
I think we're getting to a place, if you combine the rules of certain sports, where like it's getting pretty good in terms of content capturing, setting up the drama. I don't know how much there is to invent. You see what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know that we're
at a time where production technology is about to hit us with seeing any kind of game from any place on the field. Yeah. Like, did I send you that stuff? It's incredible. Incredible. We're going to be able to watch on TV and see a football game from anywhere on the field. And so I don't know how you can beat that.
Okay. Well, here's a crazy thought. Let me bring a crazy thought to the table, and you can say, we're officially no longer a sport anymore. We're something else. We're becoming entertainment. The NFL for the longest time had very strict rules as far as what players could post about teams, this sort of that sort of thing. The NBA was always very wide open. You're the controller of your own channel. We don't really care, sort of thing.
As a team or as a player?
As a league, they didn't care about the players doing that. However, no team, no league has ever let players post content during the event itself.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Do we start letting our players actually
that's so good.
do their own content, so that when you're following your favorite player, you're following them? I don't know if posting's right, because like obviously we can't have them all holding selfie cams, but if we created some sort of mechanism where on their streams you were getting their perspective, their takes, their this, their that. So it's their personality as well as their performance.
I think I love that. And I think there's two ways to do it. I think one, just like I'll keep referencing the NFL, maybe other leagues do this, but every now and then they'll choose a couple players to mic up. Mm-hmm. I think you could do it that way, so that it's not, because I think personally what I would want to avoid, what you said earlier, right, Roman, is I don't want it to become like the street gimmicky, like influencer streamers. I think you want to really retain sport at the
Athletes.
Heart and entertainment second. But you could do like just a few, or I think about like, when I think a player right now in NBA or NFL would post, it would be when they're on the sideline in the middle of the game, but not like when they're on the field, they're like doing their fucking job. Yeah. But then, okay, whatever, the offense is on the field, the defense is on the sideline, you're going to post a couple things. You're just going to like,
that's interesting.
So I think there has to be some rule around it so that it doesn't just become like a gimmicky free for all of just like content over substance.
Yeah.
But I love the idea.
I want to go back to the all gender thing, because I'm warming up. I like that. All genders.
Yeah.
It depends.
There would have to be some rules around it, of course.
There's the combat thing.
Yeah, it depends how far we're taking the combat component. But yeah.
Because right away you just open the market up like crazy. And it's such a launch moment tactic. You know what I mean?
The other thing I like about this sport, maybe this is a downside, I'm not sure. Could be interesting, could not be. But every major like league right now, I could talk about this forever.
This is crazy.
Every major league right now, or every sport, there's a general body type that like is well designed for that sport, right? And then there are people that saying general, not all. It's not 100. Okay, never mind.
When you mean like,
no, I disagree. But like football has how many body types does football have?
I'm saying like, for
all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like different sports, there are archetypes within it that are certain
different
types.
Positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I can't tell is if it's good to have as much breadth as you would potentially have in this game, or if you need a little bit of a, like, can you be super small and scrappy and flexible, but also really huge? And
can you be 7'5"?
Exactly.
Can you be 5'2"?
Range and like, yes, obviously there are archetypes in football, but it's not like somebody who the range is not enormous. I don't think. What we're building, I'm questioning whether what we're building right now has too much possibility for every single type of person to play the sport, or if that's a benefit. That's what I think
it's a huge benefit.
I think it's a benefit.
Yeah.
You want the opportunity to be able to play it.
It's like football and rugby have that in common. You'll have like humans who are like huge.
Whereas, like, I mean, if you look at basketball, it's like, cool, you're under 6'2". Like, you better be the fastest human in the world, or you're never going to make it in this league.
You got to be the setter, otherwise you're out. Yeah. But rugby and football both have that thing where you can have huge players, and you can have, especially in rugby, really like shorter players who are like so fast. So fast and everything in between, right? It's like not just the two.
I guess what I'm getting at is I don't know where the line is between anybody can do this and you have to reach a certain level to do this.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I think, listen,
I think
whatever
I still think they're athletes.
Whatever sport we want, we need elite athleticism. We agree on that, right? Like, we're not just accepting the cast-offs from other sports. We need you to be the best at this sport we're creating. Right. You know what I mean? So, and so, like, to that point, I think, like, what I've learned over the conversation that we're having right now is, like, you even when you set up a brand new sport, like, it's going to become something completely different in 5 years as strategies get evolved and all these things. Like, look how much football, soccer, you name it, like the number of formations that have changed in soccer over the course of
new rules,
hundreds of years. You know what I mean? And like, it's going to be the same thing with this, which is like, essentially, you don't even know what you're creating until you create it and go, well, what do we do with it now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit.
Because, like, to your point, I think it's hard. I think it's what I'm getting at is it's hard to hard set the type of people who can play it, because you just don't know how the game's going to be played yet.
That's true. You don't know how it's going to be played. Yeah. And you don't know how the rules are going to work or not work, and how you're going to need to evolve it. Yeah. I think as long as we agree they're elite athletes, then, it's like, it's still
we need athletes.
Elite athleticism. People can look at them and be like, oof,
wow. Because that's another part of it, as I think part of sport is like people doing things you can't believe they did, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's part of what makes, I think, some sports like so incredible is the stars and what they're capable of. You know what I mean?
Think if you lined up a room and had a soccer player, a tennis player, a swimmer, all in their elite, a football player, a basketball player, you would make a pretty good guess at who played which sport.
I think,
probably. So maybe, but what are you getting at?
That I think I'm having a hard time articulating it, but I think that, like, you want to create, you want the sport to have a recognizability to it in, like, the
type of athlete,
who's going to be and then you break it, right? Then all of a sudden you have a quarterback who's like not built at all like a quarterback, right? Like, you have people that break the formats, but I'm just trying to think of, I don't know, maybe it's not important. Maybe I'm down a rabbit hole that doesn't matter. I think trying to understand, like, what, because I think
who's playing this?
Who's playing it? Because I think we know the story of the characters is so important. And I don't know, maybe we'll have to find out when we really build it who tries out.
I mean, it's right. It's still, you set up the rules, right? It's like a team sport where you throw a ball and you can fight, right? So I think you need, that's what we said,
and there's
right?
nets.
And there's nets to put a goal. So it's still like you're gonna need people to be able to throw a ball, run, and fight. And that's what your athletes look like. And then you're gonna have some diversity in the athleticism because some people are going to be like,
I'm more of a fighter than the guy.
Yeah, totally.
They're literally going to be there to protect the ball, like in football.
Yeah.
punch their opponents in the face.
There's
so they don't approach the person
guy with the ball,
the guy or the woman
fast.
with the ball, who runs super fast.
Yeah,
and so you're gonna
that's where it gets very Quidditchy.
You're gonna have the sprinter.
It's also getting a little football-y.
You're gonna have the sprinter, the puncher. And the person who can do like a sliding tackle, like in soccer, except that they're not going for the ball, they're going for the legs.
They're going for the legs.
And these are like mostly your 3 athlete profiles.
Yeah, you're gonna have defender, fighter,
some diversity,
defender, fighter, sprinter.
Here's what I think, though. I don't think it should be like football in that you have a defending team and an attack.
No, I agree.
It should
one
be
team, one team,
because that requires a little more strategy in how in your athlete profile.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's like, so
I think that's smart.
And is somebody tending the goal?
Yeah, I think there should be a goaltender.
Yeah, that's
gonna be a tough job.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough job.
You're gonna get the crap kicked out of you.
I mean,
but that's like hockey goalie. Hockey goalies get the crap.
What kind of ball is it? Is it a round ball? Is it like a football rugby
Undecided.
ball?
I don't know yet. I don't have a good answer on
Is
that.
it like a baseball? Is it
like
what is it?
because then some people are really good at chucking it from far away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is it?
Well, I imagine it should be bouncy too, so you can bounce it off obstacles and stuff.
So
it's
like
kind
a
of
giant
handball.
bouncy
It's
ball.
It's kind of getting handball.
We're getting into handball.
Yeah, because
Fighting
I think
handball.
you want to play off the city. So I like things that would bounce off of buildings instead of like break the glass and then game over.
College integration. We got definitely. This is American sport. We need college integration.
That's easy to say, but how do you do it?
We'll just make it happen. Like, I mean, there's ultimate frisbee in college now. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
We can find a way.
What did you call this? American Ball League?
Yeah. American
so now
Ball
there's
League.
NFL,
It's the ABL.
MLB, and the ABL.
American Ball League.
That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
What's the culminating event? What's the Super Bowl of the ABL?
Oh yeah, you need to make. I think that's a really important thing. You need to make a calendar moment of the championship game, right? Like that is something that some sports do. The World Cup does well. When the World Cup final is on, Super Bowl is done probably better than any other league in the history of the world. But I think you do need to make it like what I would love is if it was always on the same date every year. If it was like June 1st,
no matter
every
what day
June
of the
1st,
week.
no matter what, is always, or the first Saturday in June or something
Saturday
like that. And it was always that date.
ABL.
No, I wonder if you make it, I don't know, there's pros and cons to it, but I wonder if you make it, to your point, set date at a city that doesn't have a team so that there's no home field advantage, but a city that's real tricky. I love when you said the Chicago River. I'm like, that's interesting because then you need your athletes to swim at some point.
Or jump in it, or there's a kayak available that you can jump in.
And I'm like, what's a city that's real tricky weather-wise or urbanization-wise, or I don't know. What's like where... Like, do you put them in
like Anchorage, Alaska?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was going. That's exactly where I was going.
But you want strong attendance at this main event.
Yeah.
I
So
think that you don't want it to be inaccessible.
Even like,
well, Vegas, like the Strip would be a weird place to throw
Vegas in August is a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Spicy. Okay, wait, that made me think of
Vegas is a good one.
Question. Yeah, and the players all have to take shots before they're. Oh shoot, I don't remember what my question was.
See, it's interesting though because go ahead.
Sorry,
no go.
Could there be a component? I agree, America needs playoffs, but is there a potential component where the fans have a say? Like, for example, let's say let's say that like the playoffs happen and maybe we don't have enough teams to make this work because it's only 10 teams, I think we said. But I had a thought of like, of all the teams that don't make it to the playoffs, America gets to vote in like America's team. You know, it's like the people's team. Because I think it's an interesting strategy you could have as a team is like, you might not be the best, but you're the most loved.
Just most beloved.
And then who knows, there could be an upset. Like there's always a possible upset.
I think you just answered the question I was going to ask, which is, and I think it's what you just said, but my question was going to be, what is the next frontier of sports, right? Like the way F1 went to Netflix, and basically fucking like killed the game.
Media integration.
What is the next one?
Fan integration.
And,
fan integration.
You know how like there's many sports, and this would be one of them. Like football's one of them, basketball's one of them, soccer is definitely one of them. Every fan thinks that they're very good at it strategically.
Yeah.
So you should have one team that actually plays the league that is fan. Is that what you were saying? You have a whole team that is fan built. So it's like it's a fantasy league, but the team's real. And you build the team. The fans put together that team. The fans are the coach. All of it.
Yeah, that's
and so
interesting.
then you can see the reality of actually running a team.
It. I don't know how you would operationalize that,
but we're playing God. So operations is like
well, that's a problem for someone else.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, how do you show the world that it's not that easy to run a professional team?
Like every year, there's a fan team.
There's a fan team.
And the fan team is decided by the fans.
Yeah. And still elite athletes. It's not a fan team 100%. As in they're playing it, but they become the backseat coaches.
They're basically, they're part of, the fans are part of, are like the 10th team or the 11th team. They're part of the draft. They get to draft their players and they get to put together the roster and the strategy and everything. And it's the socialist team.
It's so interesting because like, I think in 20 years, and I mean this honestly, like we're going to be interacting with sports in a completely different way. Like I do like that thing you showed me when I was down at South by, there's this ESPN dude talking about a similar thing where it's like, they can put these sensors over athletes' bodies now that basically update every 60 times every second to tell the where they are. You know what I mean? Like it's insane.
It's insane.
So like there's all these things that are like coming down the pipe that I'm like, how do we build a sport specifically for that? You know what I mean? Because,
and that's the part I don't think we cracked.
I
think it's very hard. We stayed within like
the realm of what's possible now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Parameters that we know today.
I know.
Like, because there's so much that we don't. It's so hard. Like, it's not even strategy work. We're talking about innovation and technology, and we don't know where that's going to be. And so, how that's going to redefine all the rules of like sports and live sports and all of that. But
how do we deal with sponsorship? Do you have them all over your jersey? No sponsors? How do we feel about
tattoos?
We could also do personal sponsorships.
Yeah, I think so.
You could just do athlete direct sponsorships of specific athletes. We do whatever we wanted.
But I think you can. You could also do it individual per viewer, not per athlete.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, that's very interesting.
You build audience pools, and what you see, it's just a
like
projection.
It's
a projection onto the uniform.
Simon likes cookies. Put cookie brands all over this guy's jersey.
Yeah, I think so.
This athlete sponsored by Oreos.
You basically do what banners did.
Exactly.
What Facebook did and Meta. You do
targeted
it in live
sponsorships.
sports.
Okay, we got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, not including a wrap up. Is there any last
It could include the wrap up.
Huh?
It could include the wrap up.
Yeah. Sorry. Is there any last thoughts you want to add to this? What we need here?
No.
Okay.
I think the next step would be cool foundations, but what is the future? Like what tech evolves this further into what is maybe not possible right now, but could be.
Yeah.
I think the targeted sponsorship is a moneymaker.
That just feels like something you can integrate into sports not too far away from now.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. With that said, here's what we got to. I'm going to write down, I'm just going to mention a few things we discussed. We agreed to team sport quite early.
Yeah.
It needs to be a team sport.
Yeah.
There needs to be a combination of surface level understanding, but also the ability to go deep on it, right? We talked about gender and opening up gender. Full contact, we all seem to agree to pretty quickly that this needs to be a full contact sport.
A lot of punching thrown out.
I think we kind of came to the conclusion there's no sport we currently see that we could import to America. We talked a little bit about modifying sports for an American audience or modifying existing American sports, but slightly differently. I don't know if we landed anywhere until we got to sort of the American Ball League, which we're calling the American Ball League for now. And here's what we know about it so far. There's a limited schedule. It's definitely going to involve teams. It's definitely going to involve balls. It's definitely going to involve combat. There's going to be city circuits, playoffs, a fantasy football and gambling extension to make sure that everyone's good. There's going to be a home and away, even though there's a city circuit. We're going to have to integrate college at some point. We need rivalries. And we are going to let players post their own content during the event itself. That is about
fan built.
The fan built
component.
So I'll ask Roman first. Did we crack it?
We so not. We so didn't crack it. You know what's funny is like my brother was talking to me the other day, and he was like, I think we were exchanging voice notes on WhatsApp because we're Euros, and he was like, "How's crack it in an hour?" Which you should probably rebrand.
Wow.
Well, this time for this episode, we should definitely rebrand because this is Jesse. Did we crack it?
Well, you know what's funny is my experience of what I thought that conversation was versus your recap. I was like, we got nowhere.
We got nowhere.
Like I was like, I was really on. I was like, I didn't think we had cracked it, but I definitely was like, we really like kind of got somewhere interesting. And then I'm like, cool. Teams, playoffs, fantasy league.
I mean, your recap wasn't the most glorifying. We did have some slightly deeper conversations.
I'm kidding a little bit, but I was also like, shit, we really got nowhere. So that was wild. I loved it.
I think it was a fun conversation about what makes sports work in America and what does and what doesn't and things like that. But no, we're nowhere close to cracking it. And I think that was why, sometimes you try something different.
Yeah, totally.
And it yields unbelievable results. And other times you try something and realize, I see why we don't do that very often. With that said, I had a great time. I thought it was fantastic conversation.
Yeah, I loved it.
I don't know if it would be the best approach for actually helping your brother with the fact that the cracking it is what we're supposed to be focused on.
Exactly.
But no, we didn't crack it. No. I mean, we didn't even come close. But man, I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
Thank you guys for accommodating the curveball today.
No pun intended.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Crack It in an Hour. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to another episode of Crack It in an Hour. If you like the show, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. If you have questions, thoughts, or feedback, shoot us an email at hello@crackitpodcast.com or on Instagram @crackitpodcast. Music done by Michael Anastasi, cover art shot by Mick Mint, and all things audio and video taken care of by Nathan Nash. See you next time.